Hey everyone, I am T-Rex, and today I said that I would be doing a Star Wars ranking with tiers. So I have my tiers right here, so I'm going to explain how this works real quick. I'll drop the film into whatever tier I think, then I'll explain why, and then at the very end, I will just rank them. This is a much more laid-back type of video. I am not really going to be editing too much. This is completely unscripted. Usually I have a script in these videos. I'm just going to be going off of what I truly think about these movies off the top of my head and try to rank them. So, let's just start. We're going to start in release order, I think. So, let's start with the first Star Wars and just drop that bad boy straight up in the awesome tier. Because this movie is so good. There's nothing wrong with this movie. I think that most of this movie is amazing because if you think about it, of being that movie that started off an entire franchise, it explains so much so concisely in the very beginning. It very quickly establishes our world and progressively lets us go farther and farther into this world. It slowly shows us these rebels and Empire, then it explains to us Jedi, and then Sith, and this Darth Vader character. It is so good. It understands how to do these type of movies. It is an awesome movie. I said the wrong word, but it's an awesome movie. Knew exactly how to start. I do have some problems. I know some people say that pacing's a little slow, and I understand where they're coming from. When I was a lot younger, I thought, man, this movie's kind of boring sometimes. But the older I get, the more I like it. This is one of those movies that grows on you. I enjoy this movie every time more than the last time I watched it. My only problem is that compared to the other two original trilogy movies, I don't think the trench run holds up as well as a final battle compared to Return of the Jedi or Empire. Now, speaking of Empire, where is it? Here it is. Awesome. Come on, it's Empire. It's known to be one of the best sequels of all time because it improves upon all of our characters. It explains Darth Vader better, Luke better, it evolves from Han and Leia, and it's so good. We get to see the training of Luke with Yoda. There's nothing wrong with this movie. The final confrontation between Vader and Luke, which really will set up Return of the Jedi. I think this movie is so good. There's you watch it and you can't find a flaw with it. I can't. The meaning of Hoth is so fun. This movie is one of those movies where it just does not have issues. It's like Jaws, where I have close to no issues with it. Okay, Return of the Jedi. Oh boy. So this is usually the one in the trilogy people like to dog on. Seems to get some pretty harsh treatment from some fans. I know people would put it in okay, maybe underwhelming. Nah, it's great. It's freaking great. And it's so good just because the characters are so good in this movie. And I think I prefer this final third more than Empire. The final fight between Luke and Vader is so good. It's amazing. But then we get into the other acts. And the first two acts, I have to say, are just not on par with New Hope or Empire, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I just think that the beginning, I like Jabba's palace and all that. I think it's fun. But Endor, I don't hate the Ewoks. I think they're cute. But I think that it does slow down the pacing a bit. I think the movie kind of slows down a bit, but it is, come on. And people act like this movie sometimes is absolute doo-doo. It's not. People are like, oh, there's these two and then Return of the Jedi. I think Return of the Jedi is so great. And by the way, in case anyone's mad, this is not my ranking towards the end. I'll move them around to show you my final ranking in order. Now let's move on to the prequels. Oh boy, I'm in big doo-doo. Alright. Man, I sound like Jar Jar. Me saying big doo-doo this time. Okay. So now the next one is The Phantom Menace. And I'm going to put this quickly on underwhelming because I do not enjoy this film to the degree. Honestly, if you were asking me which one that I would be kind of leaning more towards, is it bad? I'd more lean towards bad than okay on this movie. There are a lot of issues. People say that the characters are all bad, pretty much. It's pretty boring. That's another problem. This movie I do not think, develop its characters correctly. You got Qui-Gon and Anakin and Padme, and I just don't care about these characters. And next is Solo. This story feels easily the most disposable in all of Star Wars. I just don't think that this movie really holds up after all this time. And I think as a prequel, it just felt it probably felt cool when it came out. Like, I bet the lightsaber fight at the end, I really like that. And that's what I have to say. Like, the reason I can't put this on bad is because it's Star Wars at the end of the day. I am that type of nerd where I can't bring myself to put a Star Wars on a bad. Yep, well, I just spoiled the list, but I can't. I cannot put this movie on the bad tier. I think there are a lot of issues with it. You could give me a case that it is a bad film, and I'd probably be with you. But I don't like trashing movies, so let's just keep moving on to Attack of the Clones, underwhelming. Can't put this on bad either. I actually have the problem with Phantom Menace is on a whole, I'm pretty down on it. But there are some aspects of Attack of the Clones that I like a lot more and I hate a lot more than Phantom Menace. So, of course, we're going to talk about Anakin and Padme. It's weird. And the script is it's not good. It's just, this is obviously a swing and a miss when it came to the Star Wars franchise again. What I do like the whole Jango Fett plotline. I think the Battle of Geonosis has no emotional stakes, but it's fun. I think the entire Camino thing I have fun with. I always like that part. And that's what I'll say. There are moments in here that I like a lot more in Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace was a very sluggish film. And I like Attack of the Clones just a bit more and kind of spoiled the end of my ranking. But yeah, these two prequels I definitely do not enjoy and do not like revisiting. And let's go over to Revenge of the Sith. Okay, the prequel that I like. Good. I rewatched this about 4 months ago, and it's a lot better in these two. When it comes to the script, it's not as bad, because this feels like the film that they were trying to build towards the entire time. This film feels like this is the story that they really wanted to tell, and they had to set up these two films to be able to do it. They actually don't really need Phantom Menace for this story. But I think after Order 66, the story really starts going places. In my opinion, at least, I think this is where the movie takes off. I think this is easily the best part. And I also think that Obi-Wan, Anakin, the whole Darth Vader and Jedi falling, I think all the lightsaber fights are fun. They're very long, but like this movie is easily the most easy to watch out of the prequels. I'm able to have fun with this movie. And honestly, there are some high emotional parts. Order 66 is absolutely great. It's very well done. What are my issues with this? I hate saying this. I don't really like Anakin. And I know that's an easy thing to just say, oh, I hate Anakin. Well, I don't really like him in this movie. The writing, and it could be part on the acting as well. It's just so flat. Like, I just feel like Hayden Christensen might not be the right choice. I'm going to get flack for that. I know people are going to get angry. But I just feel like Obi-Wan is able to be a lot more likable of a character, and it was written by the same person. So I don't know if it's an acting thing, but Anakin is still bad. He's not as bad, but he's still bad. He's easily the worst part of this movie. But the memes are good. The memes are good. That probably makes this film more enjoyable. Alright. Well, so that's my original 6. Oh gosh. Now we get to go to the Disney part. Ooh, baby. This is nearly... Now, if you want something to argue with someone about, you can go with religion or Star Wars. They're about on the same. Politics, religion, Star Wars, they're all the same to people. So, let's start with The Force Awakens. I know people like now to talk bad about this film. It's not. It's great. There it is. It's great. This film is so fun. It's just fun, you know? The characters are all new. Finn, Rey, I like Rey. I like Finn. Poe's fun. And Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is awesome in this movie. I think this movie is so much fun. It's really good. There's not much wrong with it. What holds it back, T-Rex, from making it an awesome movie? It just doesn't have that really spark. It does somewhat feel like a rehash of A New Hope. I know people love to use that to point out, oh, it's a bad film, but it is somewhat of a rehash, but I don't think it's a bad thing since I have A New Hope in the awesome tier. But I think this movie is really fun. Only problem is, now it feels like every Star Wars scene, there's always that one scene that's just really weird. And in this movie, it's that weird slug scene where the Millennium Falcon gets caught. Every movie has one. You got New Hope with its Oh, what one was A New Hope? Well, you got the weird slug thing in the Death Star. You have Empire with its weird slug worm. You have Bib Fortuna. That's enough to, like, every movie in Star Wars has that weird scene. In the middle of this movie sometimes drags a bit, but I think this movie's great. I just don't connect with it as much as the top two here to put on that awesome. What's the next one? Rogue One? Oh, baby. I love me some Rogue One. Put that on the awesome tier. I'm gonna get so much flack for this, but I don't care. I freaking love Rogue One. It is so much freaking fun. The characters people like to dog on, they're not that bad. I actually like Cassian and K2SO the most. And I think they developed Chirrut Îmwe and Blaze Malbus pretty good. But the big problem here is that first third of the movie. I think that part is pretty slow. Everything on Jeddah with Forrest Whitaker screaming. I'm trying to remember what he says. He's like, Buggy Duggy. I don't remember. It's freaking funny though. And they got that there's that weird Star Wars scene where the guy gets those two things on his like forehead. Man, there were some weird parts to this movie, but I love it. Once they leave that planet, once that planet explodes, that's when the movie kicks it into high gear. We get the raddest bombing scene of all time. And then the final Scarif stuff. It's freaking gold. It is such a high. There are lows in this film, but I love it. I freaking love this film. It feels like a real return of form. Someone who loves Star Wars coming back, even though I don't know how much he did. Gareth Edwards, it's rumored there was a second director. He didn't get credited. It's like, there's a lot of weird things in this movie, but I love it. I can't I love this movie so much, and I can't say anything bad about it. Not really. It's so good. Oh, Last Jedi. Oh, I don't want to talk about this. Let's put on the okay tier. People are gonna get mad because I don't love it and I don't hate it. So I was a lot higher on this film when it first came out. I remember seeing it and going, that was so good, bro. That was amazing. And then over time, my love for this film has waned. Let me talk about the good stuff, because there is a lot of good stuff in here that people like to neglect. Starting with Rey and Kylo Ren. They're great in this film. I said they were great in the first one. They're great in this one. I also think they do Luke good. He's a very different character, but I think they did it in an interesting way that I personally like. Now, there are issues, and there are too many plot lines in this story. There's one too many, and I'll tell you which one it is. It's the Canto Bight one. It's terrible. It's so boring and bland. I just want to skip it every time I watched it, and I watched this movie 2 weeks ago to make sure that I felt right, because this is the movie I definitely felt the least secure on my stance on. So I rewatched it, and it's terrible. It's so bad, and I hate saying this, because I try to defend this movie. People love to dog on this movie, but I like to defend the good parts. I will not defend the bad parts, and you know what's a bad part? Rose. I don't like Rose. I know it's an easy target, but I just think they didn't use her character right, because she's telling Finn the whole movie war's bad, and it's like, we know war's bad. That's what every movie's been on, but it's like, and they waste Finn. Finn is so wasted in this film. He just gets sent on this magic journey with Rose. Oh gosh. This film has a lot of issues, and the more I talk about it, the more I want to put it on the underwhelming. But then you think about the throne room scene and you want to put her shit up to the good, but I gotta leave it in the okay. There are a lot of issues with this film, but but there are a lot of high moments with these characters. So, yeah. Solo. Okay. Solo. Where do I want to put Solo? No. Nope. We're gonna put it on the okay. Yeah. Solo's okay, right? Yeah. Solo is a good one-time watch. I hate saying that. I've watched it once in the theater, and I watched it another time on Netflix. So I've watched it twice. I thought about rewatching it. I don't need to rewatch it to remember what happened, because there are good moments in this film. This film feels cohesive. I'll say that. There are fun moments. I think the cast is pretty good. I think whoever played Han, Alden Ehrenreich, I believe his name is, did a good job. Donald Glover as Lando, great. There are some problems though. The entire storyline just feels not necessary. I don't think this film ever justifies its reason for existing. That said, there's not too much wrong with this film. I could point out how I don't really feel Emilia Clarke's character, and I didn't really love Woody Harrelson's character. But this film's fine. It's fine. That's the key word. There are a lot of issues with this film, but on a whole, it's fine. You can watch it and not be mad. I just don't think it's that good because I just don't really care about it. Like, you can probably tell that this is the film I have the least opinions on, because I remember hearing about it and I was like, a Solo, do we need that? And the film doesn't really justify it being around. It's fun while you're watching it, and then you're done with it and you go, that was fine. Alright, Rise of Skywalker. Whoa. This film is weird. It's weird. It is a mess. A freaking mess. But an okay mess. An okay mess? Okay mess? Yeah, I think it's an okay mess. Here's what I think of. There's a lot I like and a lot I dislike. I sound like the exact same thing on Last Jedi. But, let me talk about it. Kylo Ren is still great. And Rey is still good. And I think they did, on the most part, good with the characters. Except Finn. He still gets a pointless person to tell him that war is bad. But this movie's problem is that it is moving so fast. The pacing is so fast. Like, they are going so freaking fast through everything. Because what they're doing, instead of trying to accept The Last Jedi, is trying to retcon The Last Jedi. And I think that's a big problem. They should have said, what can we do to work with what we got? Because I don't think The Last Jedi was a bad film to keep working off of. Just they tried to ignore it. Now, what I will say, the villain is not good. They never really explain why Palpatine is back or his reason for being back. So dumb. Palpatine being back is so dumb. It's the dumbest death that we've brought him back. We should have thought of something else. Now, what I will say, out of the 3/3 of this movie, the first third feels way too fast, and the last third feels not earned. Now, in the middle, there's actually pretty fun. I think when they're on that snowy planet and talking to, what's that guy's name? Oh, my name is Babu Freak. Yeah, that guy. What am I doing? Anyway, this movie, there are good moments in it. I think that the action, it's shot well. I think there are fun moments at the end. It's just such a mess of a film. And I just have to say, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't love it, but it's okay. Yeah. Alright. Let's rank them. Let's rank these bad boys and let me get in trouble. Alright. How many films are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Yeah, 11 films. Alright. So in last place, it's gotta be The Phantom Menace. I do not like this film. I just can't put it in the bad tier. It's boring, and that's the biggest sin it commits. Now we have episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Luckily, memes exist, so it's making these films somewhat better. Because whenever I watch it, I can just think, is the sand scene coming up? So, yeah. It's there. I don't really enjoy this film. So, let's see. Number 9. You know what? At number 9, I'm going to put The Last Jedi, I think. I think that this film they make so many decisions that I just do not like, and they make this film feel like there are times where I just am like, I love this, and then there are times where I go, why? What are you doing? So I'm gonna say, it's like at 9. I think that sounds good. Now I'm gonna say, Rise of Skywalker or Solo. I'm gonna say Solo is gonna go in that number 8 spot. And the only reason is because it's a coherent film, but I think it doesn't hit the lows that Last Jedi hit, but it never hits the highs that I think the Rise of Skywalker hits. I just don't have as much fun in Solo as I do in Rise of Skywalker, and I'm able to justify that film a bit more because I just have a lot of fun with Rise of Skywalker. Okay, number 6, I think. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith. This film is pretty good. Not a lot of issues with it. Well, there's a few issues, but I think on the whole, easily the most watchable prequel. Very fun to watch, and not a lot of problems with it. It's just good. It's a good movie. Then, at number 5, Return of the Jedi. Ooh, there we go, the rhymes again, baby. I like this film a lot. That's why I say it's great. I have so much fun with it. What a great trilogy ender in that last third. The middle of the film, I don't know how well it does, but the last third of it is freaking gold. Number 4, we have The Force Awakens. I really like this film, and no one can say otherwise. It is so much fun. It is so good. It was so fun to watch in the theaters. Everyone who watched it that day loved it. Now people are starting to say, like, oh, I don't know if it holds up. It's like a New Hope clone. No, it's just fun. It's just freaking fun, and I think we should all just admit it's fun. It's not the best one, but it is so much fun, and probably the most fun you can have in the Disney trilogy. Number 3, Rogue One. And this movie, I have such a soft spot for. First off, I didn't even mention the U-Wing, the best ship in Star Wars. And this movie just blows my mind every time I watch it. That final 2/3 of the movie, so good. I think even Jyn Erso's dad, played by Mads Mikkelsen, so fun. This movie is just so much fun, and that ending with Vader. I'm doing my Swedish chef kiss, dude. It's freaking gold. This movie, I love it, and I don't have to explain why, even though I have to because it's a review or tier list or whatever I'm doing. Number 2, New Hope. This film is near perfect. It makes little to no mistakes throughout the entire runtime. This movie completely sets up everything you need to know within like 40 minutes, which really makes you wonder why were the prequels made, because this movie does whatever the prequels were trying to do in 40 minutes. It's really incredible when you think of it, that this film came out and there was nothing before it. It's astounding that this film was made and it turned out as good as it is, and it is truly awesome. And then Empire, it just took whatever New Hope gave it and just pushed it up to 11. It said, oh, you want more development for Darth Vader? Boom! There you go, baby. You want more Luke and the Jedi? Bam! You got it. You want to see Han being a smuggler but still got that rebel heart? Oh, bam! Leia, bam! Chewie, boom, boom, boom. It all goes together. Then you get new characters like Yoda. Yoda's awesome. Then you get Lando, such a different type of character. He's like a suave guy. Then you got Cloud City. This film, it makes no mistakes. Hoth. I didn't even talk about Hoth. You get the Wampa. You get the Tauntauns. Oh my gosh, dude. This movie, it's so good. So Empire Strikes Back, no doubt, is coming in at number 1 with A New Hope close on its tail, I might add. People act like this is a big difference. New Hope is still amazing. But anyway, that's my review of all of the Star Wars movies. If you disagree with me, that's okay. How about you talk about what we thought differently on these movies in the comment section? Love to talk about it. If you like the review, you can like it. And, you know, this is my ideas on Star Wars. If you have something different, that's cool. Alright, so I'm going to be honest right now. I have a lot of stuff going on right now in my life, so I don't know when the next time I'm going to be able to upload is. I have a lot of stuff happening, getting back into the swing of things. So hopefully I'm able to get up a review of a video game or maybe a movie on Monday or Tuesday. Hopefully, I'd like it to be Monday, but it might have to be postponed back to Tuesday. Just because I know that I have to see how much time I have with life and stuff to be able to keep making reviews and of things. Also, I have games to play, so I can be able to review them. I have a lot of stuff to do. But anyways, whenever I do something, there will be something out at least by Wednesday. Something. It might not be good, but it will be something. Yeah. Something will be out before Wednesday. And whatever that is, I'll see you then. Bye.